Today's episode is brought to you by Vinted. You know, you have the makings of a side hustle right in your closet. If you're looking for an easy way to earn a little extra money and you're wanting to be less wasteful and give your clothes a second life, then let me tell you about Vinted. Vinted is a secondhand marketplace app that makes it easy for everyone, people just like you and me, to sell their pre-loved fashion and earn some extra money. I think Vinted is such a great idea, so why not give it a try? It's so easy to list your clothes on Vinted, and there are no selling fees, so you keep everything that you earn. Selling my clothes makes it easier to refill and refresh my wardrobe, and it also makes me feel good not to have a cluttered closet filled with things that I'm just not going to wear anymore. So if you're ready to clean out your closet and make some extra money, download the Vinted app for free and start listing. With no seller fees, you keep every dollar you earn. Listing items on Vinted is quick and simple. And once an item sells, Vinted creates a prepaid shipping label just for you. So if you're ready to clean out your closet and make some extra money, download the Vinted app for free and start listing. With no seller fees, you keep every dollar you earn. Summertime is in full swing, and now it's your chance to catch up on DTT episodes from the archives. Anita and I are taking a little break to enjoy family, friends, and travel, and we hope you're doing the same, and that you'll take us with you on your trip to the beach, in the garden, or just chilling with a cool drink. Enjoy the rest of the summer, and we'll be back soon. And until then, remember, we are here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Let's get started with today's episode. Regrets. We have a few. Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Wilkness here with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Today we're going to share what we do differently in our homes.
Wow.
Yeah, there's always something.
Yes, but it does feel a little like we're going open kimono here.
Yes, I'm feeling a little raw today.
A little, I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Yeah, I'm going to let you start. Oh, we've done everything perfectly right. Oh, it's so hard to think of anything. Of course, we've made mistakes and regrets, but these are things that, now over time, maybe we decided wasn't maybe the right choice, or maybe we moved into a home that had something done a way we wouldn't have chosen to do it. So it's going to be a sort of a variety of ways you may encounter something that you would mull over and do a bit differently, or a product that you would choose some other variation of. So let's not keep the mystery going. Anita, kick us off.
Okay. For me, it's the glass front cabinets I put in my kitchen. Did I say that out loud? And it's not that I would not, I'm not against glass front cabinets, but I collect dishes. So I said,
do you? I don't know. Does anyone ever know that about Anita, that she likes the dish? She is a dish and she likes a dish.
I do love a good dish. So I especially transferware, Staffordshire, and I'm really into the French transferware from like the 1800s now. So it's very specific. Kind of, I've niched down. But anyway, I have a lot of dishes. I do
So
love
don't
them.
buy her a dish gift, because did she just tell you how specific it is?
No. I do like a lot of stuff. No. There's more than that. But I'm just saying that's kind of what I'm trying to keep myself from buying just anything. So it's like, it has to meet certain criteria. But I have all these, I went big glass. I went the whole wall glass front cabinets. So I think just about every upper cabinet I had in my Houston Heights house, they were all glass. And I thought, I've got all these dishes. They'll be great for display. But once I started putting the dishes in, I kind of realized it looked too jumbled because it's a whole wall and it looked kind of cluttery, disorganized. So what I ended up having to do is go with one color. So I had to go with white, which most of my dishes are not white. So I had to basically buy white dishes to go in these cabinets. And so they wouldn't look cluttered. I had to put basically one item per window pane, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
So I ended up buying a bunch of I mean, some of them were nice antiques, but some of them were, from Home Goods. I mean, it was just like a $15 cake stand or big mixing bowl or,
Mm-hmm.
uh, a teapot or something. So I kind of filled the cabinets with those. So all of my antique dishes that are maybe smaller pieces or, if it was a tureen, it went great. But if it was like a stack of dishes or maybe just a one-off, maybe a little creamer, I couldn't really display it because it got lost in this big display. So it was just a display of these white dishes that wasn't really what my focus was in my collecting. And because you could only put one big item per glass pane, it became really unusable as storage. So it was all display, and it was all display of, I mean, half the stuff in there I didn't really even care about, but it looked great. When you step back, it looked fantastic.
Damn good photo, man. That photo's gotten around. Gorgeous. But I totally understand what you're saying. In IRL, in real life, not
Yes,
so good.
exactly. Yes, in real life, not so good. In Instagram, it was just perfect. So, I mean, the good news was that, I mean, the kitchen was massive. So I just put all my other dishes other places and it worked out fine. But yeah, so I mean, those dishes, when I moved to this house, they does not have the display. I did not add in glass cabinets. They weren't here to begin with. I didn't put them in. And so, there's a lot of, so hey, if you want a white cake plate, give me a little ring. So I might have one for you.
Yeah, everybody's always dire to have one of those, an extra one even. Well, yeah, as I said, I mean, that looked fantastic, but I can see how that might be a problem in living in the kitchen, and especially if a person has less storage in other places than you did. So it's hard to give it all over to display, but really does make for a really great Instagram square. A thing that you could do, just did this in a client's kitchen that we redid, which turned out so well. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. And I also did in our home office here, is if you want to break it up and you don't want to have a wood front cabinet, you want to get some different material in there, the mesh inserts. So you would use mesh, metal mesh, instead of using the glass. And it's much more opaque, if you will. Obviously the glass, could be frosted or whatever, but you're still seeing through it. So it either has to look really good or you have to be a person who doesn't care that it looks really good. But the mesh, it really doesn't let you see inside the cabinet, yet it breaks that wood up, particularly if you're doing a lot of uppers. So we did 4 cabinets flanking this kitchen sink with the mesh. She had originally, we didn't take any cabinets out. We just painted them, and we took the glass out and the mullions out, and we put in the mesh. And the mesh you can just buy online or at your Home Depot. It's kind of a clovery design, and it comes in sheets. It's really inexpensive. Definitely a lot more bang for that buck. So that's a way to break up your kitchen without doing the glass.
Well, that's a great idea, and it might kind of disguise what's there, so it wouldn't need to be as decorative. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, because they don't have a lot of storage. It's kind of an oversized galley kitchen, so we couldn't give up the storage, and you can't see what's behind it.
Oh, okay. Great idea.
Okay, so let's stay in the kitchen for my first regret. Regret's a strong word. Right? And I try to live with no regrets. But sometimes you think, oh, geez.
Why don't we frame it a learning experience?
Oh, yes. So what I would possibly do differently, and what I some mornings and afternoons regret, is my Shaw farmhouse clay fire sink.
Oh, say it ain't so.
It is true. It is true. So I did a blog post, and I can't believe how long ago it was, on that sink. And at that point, it was crazing. So we will link my blog post in the show notes. And it's a fun read, actually. I was like, wow, that was well written, Kelly. Even through your pain, it's kind of funny.
Crying through the tears.
Yeah, crying through the tears. As I was coveting that sink for so long as we were preparing to purchase this house. And then, as some of you might know, we were in escrow for, 10 months, because the man who was the epic hoarder who lived here before, who I really loved in a way, would not move out and would not get movers. But anyway, that's a story for another day. I don't regret ever buying this house. It's my favorite house I've ever lived in. But the sink is going to bother me every day. It crazed almost immediately. So the crazing is that crackle, as I mentioned in the blog post, that I love on a dollar antique plate that I picked up at an estate sale, but I don't love on my $1,000 plus dollar sink. So it crazed, and of late, I would say in the last couple of years, because now we've had it about 8 years, it's chipping.
Is it white? What color is it?
It's the white Shaw fire clay sink, with the diamond blue, and Shaw started making these fire clay sinks in 1887. My house was built in 1886 and actually has a weather vane on the top that says 1887 because the guy who lived here got it off a little bit until he really found out what year the house was built. So I wanted to outfit the house with things that would be of the time. I chose the marble, which I love. I chose the unlacquered finish for the faucets, and I chose this sink. And it's really challenging. I didn't go into this without doing the research. I didn't go into it with eyes closed. I read everything I could get my eyeballs on about this sink, and you would get all these 5-star reviews, and then you would get almost an equal amount of 1-star reviews. But I just decided that those 1-star people just must be cranky, And we've encountered some cranky people in our days, and I thought, they're just cranky and they don't appreciate this sink and its history and all of that. But you know what? Now I understand why there's 1 stars and 5 stars. And there's a lot of people out there in the same boat that I am. I have just decided that I'm going to live with this sink.
Oh, but you say it's chipping now?
Yeah, and you can get a little repair kit. Now, here's the thing. Let's get to the reasons why. Let's just stop with the woe is me for a second. Okay, so it's fire clay, which is made of a clay-based ceramic, but it's fired at this incredibly high temperature, and it's supposed to be sort of impervious to a lot. Well, that's what you read on the site for the company, which is Rohl, R-O-H-L, that now produces the Shaw sinks. I mean, they've been making these sinks, as I said, since 1887, and they're all handmade. So there is a little drainage problem too, which really bugs my husband. Nothing bugs him, but he's like, this sink won't drain. I'm like, I don't want to hear it anymore. So the crazing and the cracking is harder to deal with. And I am very careful with my things. We are not hard on things. And I don't put pots and pans in the sink. I wouldn't do that in any sink. It's just not the way I operate in the kitchen. But I most certainly wouldn't do it in this sink. And so, I don't know. It's just regular use. Maybe a coffee cup goes in there or a teacup or something like that. But there are certainly not soaking pans in there overnight. So if anybody is thinking about one of these sinks, I would do what I did, but I would also believe some of those 1-star people. Give them a little more credit. They might only just be cranky because of their sink. Porcelain sinks are tough too for a kitchen. And then there's cast iron, which is enameled. So that can also crack. There's going to be issues with it all.
Yeah, but I've never had a porcelain sink crack or do any of that stuff, just stain.
Yeah, they stain more. So what kind of sink do you have in your kitchen, or did you have in the Houston house?
Both are the farmhouse apron front porcelain sinks.
Yeah, and you haven't had any problem with the porcelain.
Well, the one in the Heights, we had a terrible problem with it staining, and it really required just to kind of get it ready to sell. I mean, there were a lot of stains that I just kind of accepted I couldn't get out, that we somehow... when a professional was brought in, they seemed to be able to get it out, whereas I had scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed and gotten a lot of it out. But it was tough.
Well, we never discussed this, and now I feel a little better that you had problems too. Not that I want to drag you down, but there's always just going to be something in a sink unless you go stainless, and that can scratch. But
Oh, well, it
Stainless
scratches,
wasn't
yeah.
going to work with my look. So I'd rather have this sink. I do love it. I did covet that little diamond, and it looks beautiful, but there are definitely issues with it. So if you're in the market for something like this as well, then just please do your research and understand what might happen. Some other people say, oh, theirs is fine. It never happened. It's handmade. It's in a kiln. Maybe something was just a little off with the glazing or something. It could be that I kind of got a lemon. Maybe mine is worse than some other people's.
Okay.
But the problem is that to replace it, even if Roll would give me a new one, you're still running the risk of it happening again. And I would most likely have to take my marble up.
Oh,
Because it's an undermount. I mean, there are some people
Yeah.
online saying you could do it without that, but I don't see how you can get it out because the sink has lips that go underneath
that's the problem.
stone, right?
Yeah, because I was thinking about replacing a countertop here, but I thought I can't get it out and just the whole thing. It's like you take out one thing, then it impacts something else, but at the end of the day, you're just ripping the whole kitchen out or the whole bathroom out. So I get that.
Right.
Which
Right.
brings me to the next item, and oddly enough, in another wet room, and that was the subway tile in the shower. No, not the same reason as the glass front cabinets, but kind of the same reason as your sink, in that it wasn't faulty, but could not keep the grout clean. And there was so much grout because it's subway tile on the walls. I mean, we've talked about this before on the podcast, and the next time I replace tile in a shower, I am going with as large a piece as I can get, because then you have less grout, and I'll probably go with a darker grout, because cleaning that was a bugaboo. It was just a nightmare. It just took forever to clean it.
Oh, I so agree with you. I didn't even have that on my list, but yes, I think about less grout all the time. I did do slabs of stone in our master bath in the shower, which is
Good for
great.
you.
So the walls are, but then, hello, Kelly, I did hex tiles on the floor, which is not a problem in the general bathroom, to keep clean, but in the shower where people might be getting in with dirty feet, maybe, and then the water mixing in, the grout is more of an issue in there.
Yeah, I don't think it's not as noticeable as what's on the walls if it's on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
But also you could go with a darker grout there. But, I saw something online recently where it was some site like steamer cleaner that you just run along the grout, which I found very fascinating. And
I have been stopped mid-scroll on that
Have you?
item as well. Yeah, and I'm like, this can't work. And then I'm like, maybe it does. And I'm screen shooting it. I'm like, I'll think about that later on. So maybe we should just get that and see, and then we can report back. So that could be some miracle product, but it's probably what we don't like, super toxic. So. But yeah, less grout. The problem on the shower floor, especially if it's a smaller shower, which mine is not big by any means, is that they need to get the grade, right? It needs to come down to the drain.
Yes.
So it's harder to do with a bigger tile. That's why oftentimes you'll see a smaller tile in there.
The dark grout then. How about that?
Yeah, dark grout could be a better option there. Just maybe switch it up a little bit. Or just get a really good tile person who can really just cut it properly to get the drain. Or something I just did in another client's is we wanted to have no curb, and it's kind of a very more modern bathroom. And so with no curb, you've got to slant down towards either the back, probably the side wall or the back wall, depending on if it's a square or a rectangle, and then do one of those linear drains. So then you don't have to worry about all the tiles coming to the center. Yeah, and linear drains used to be really expensive. I know I looked into them for a different client about 2 years ago, and they were only a few on the market, and they were very, very expensive. We got one on Amazon for like $79.
Wow.
So there's a solution to that. You're getting regrets and solutions today. We think you should decorate with your 5 senses in mind. Aura House is a cold air fragrance diffuser that will fill your whole room, your whole house with a beautiful scent. It's so easy to use, magnetized setup, No pouring or measuring. One press in the morning, and it will run for about 30 days. Aura House diffusers come in beautiful packaging. It's clean and pet safe. And you can also have a free scent swap. The first scent isn't your right match. Aura House will swap it out for a new one at no extra cost. Genuinely, no risk. And you know what? The code that you're going to receive today stacks with any on-site offers. And Aura House is giving back. A portion of every sale supports local mental health services. No flame, no wax, no water, just one press, and you're set for about a month with Aura House. It's the finishing touch that really makes a room styled. Go to aurahouse.com and use the code DECOR10. That's DECOR 10, and stack it on top of the site's current deal. Decor 10 at aurahouse.com. Have you heard about Dupe? Dupe is totally free, dangerously addictive, and blowing up on TikTok for good reason. If you've got expensive taste and an inexpensive budget, or you're a savvy shopper, or you just want to know you're getting the best deal in town, Dupe.com is your new best friend. It is ridiculously easy to use. You just go to dupe.com, paste in any product URL, or upload a photo, and bam, it shows you lookalikes that won't drain your savings account. And they aren't shady knockoffs. They just come with a better price tag. And Dupe isn't just about furniture or home decor. It works for fashion, shoes, jewelry, and more. And even if you don't have a specific product in mind, say you're just looking for a comfortable couch under $2,000, just put that info into Dupe and it'll give you some great results. Okay, I can't believe what I just saved and what I just got using Dupe.com. I have been coveting a fixture for over my sink in the kitchen. The one I have is fine. I just don't love it, and I wanted to replace it. And I had the one that I wanted to replace it with in my photos for a long time because it just was more than I wanted to spend. I thought, let me try Dupe. And as they say, bam, there it was for $400 less. So this is what I want you to try today. Go to Dupe.com and paste in any product link. It'll instantly show you similar items for way less. There's also an app and a browser extension if you want to make it even easier. No account needed, totally free. Start saving money with Dupe.com today. You know a great rug is literally the foundation of your decor. And if you have kids, pets, or humans living in your house, you know rugs basically become ground zero for every spill, stain, and disaster. That's why we're obsessed with Tumble rugs. Tumble makes spill-proof, stylish, machine-washable rugs designed for real life. Tumble rugs feature a proprietary spill-proof surface that causes liquids to bead up on top of the rug. So instead of soaking into the fibers like most rugs, you can literally wipe spills away in seconds. It's kind of magical. And when you need a deeper clean, Tumble rugs are fully machine washable, even the larger sizes. And all Tumble rugs are made with non-toxic materials. I have the Lisa Tumble. It is absolutely gorgeous, and it stands up to my 3 dogs and my humans. Machine washable rugs made better. For a limited time only, our listeners get 10% off plus free shipping at tumbleliving.com/DTT. That is Tumble, TUMBLE, living.com/DTT. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them, and please support our show and tell them that we sent you.
You know, the next thing that we did was we insisted on a breakfast room because in our old house, we had a large breakfast room, and that's where we had 99% of our meals. If we had guests over, we would go to the dining room, but the breakfast room was where we lived, and there was no island in the kitchen, so that wasn't even an option. So I wasn't used to eating at an island because we didn't even have one. So when we built our Houston Heights house, I put in a really nice sized island because it was a brand new house. So of course the kitchen was big, had a big island. But I said, no, we eat at the breakfast room. I want a breakfast room. And it was kind of a back and forth with the builder. We ended up putting a breakfast room on, and which you've seen on the cover of Country French magazine. It was on the cover, so I'm not sorry.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, you've seen live, Kelly. No, you were like,
well, you've seen it live too, but I'm just saying, what I'm trying to say is it did end up being a good thing for me because it's been in a lot of magazines. But the reality is we just ended up eating almost all our meals at the island, so we really didn't eat at that breakfast room table much. And because I put that really charming armoire in there, which again looked great in photos, but it really made the space very tight. And so if it was, more than maybe two people, it was really kind of snug in there. And so that's not really something functionally I would do again. In fact, this house does not have a breakfast room. It has one kind of, well, it kind of is a dining area between the kitchen and the living room. It's just one big room. So this house basically doesn't have that. So I guess I would not have insisted on it. But again, it ended up looking nice.
Oh, yeah. It looked really nice. And a place for all those other dishes that couldn't go in the glass front cabinet.
Yes, there was that too.
Yeah. So, one problem was solved there with that.
True.
Okay. Here's one that's going to take us outside. I wish I had planted trees, not just hedges, a couple of trees when we first got here.
Oh, yeah. Well, the age-old problem. The best time
Yes.
to plant a tree is 10 years ago. That's when you should plant a tree.
That's what they say. The best day to plant a tree is whatever, 10 years ago, 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the second best is today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't done it and you want some actual mature trees at some point on your property, get to it. There was just so much going on with this house when we moved in. I couldn't really think about the outside, and a lot of it was being dug up for plumbing pipes and this and that and the other thing. So I wish I had the forethought to put in at least 2 trees, and I wish I had done that, one in the front and the one in the back earlier. I did do one in the front, but the one in the back, by the time we put the patio in and other things, there wasn't the space to put a tree that was going to get too large. So I have a really nice acacia in a gigantic, it's a ridiculously sized pot, and it looked so silly when it came and it was empty. Like, what is that thing? Like a pod from another planet arrived. Of course it's black. Once the acacia went in it and it started to grow, it looks really great. So I had to have a big pot for that size tree, but I wish I had put a tree in the ground before I had designed the patio, because I think it would have been okay. Of course, if you're putting in a mature tree, please think about, how you want to use the tree. You don't want it to be ornamental. Do you need some shade? Try to find a tree that is obviously appropriate for your zone where your garden is, and also what will support the most pollinators. That's a great way to not only help them, but then bring pollinators to your garden, which will not only help the entire earth, but also help your flowers or tomatoes or whatever else you have going on there get pollinated, because you're bringing in birds or moths or bees and butterflies to your trees. So do some research on that, but definitely try to get a tree in the ground if you want one and you've got room for one. Ginkgos I love, and they have a special place in our heart because our last street was lined with ginkgos, and they turn this beautiful golden color in the fall. Even in California, we got that gold color. People used to come to the street and take their family photos for the holidays, or do you take videos of the tree? It was just like a golden snowstorm every year when they started to come down. It was so beautiful. So I want to have a little bit of that here, but ginkgos grow really slowly. It's the most adorable tree, but it's only just a little bit taller than me right now, and that's not saying a lot. You might want to pick a tree that grows a little faster too.
Good points on that. I'm going to shift to the house that we're in now, which I did not design. So my frustrations with this house, it kind of came with it. But still, I think these are good things to point out, because if I had been able to do this differently, I would have. And that is, in the kitchen, there's no built-in trash cans. So in the Heights house, I had a cabinet where you pulled it out and there were 2 trash cans there, which was great. You could use one for trash and one for recyclables. And this kitchen does not have that. It's actually got a spot where it could have gone, but it didn't. I'll tell you, I ended up finding a white rectangular shaped trash can with the foot pedals that has 2 bins, and it's white and it's not round, so it doesn't look like a traditional trash can. It ends up looking pretty nice because I have white cabinets, and I'll include a link to it because I think if you have this problem, you'll probably like this solution. But that was a disappointment when I realized that was not here.
Yeah, that's a bummer. And that's really hard to reconfigure.
Well, and I'm redoing the cabinets in there.
Mm-hmm.
So
are you?
I could have, but because the kitchen's so much smaller than my other one, I chose to keep it for storage of dishes. Casserole. But I mean, that cabinet actually has mostly casserole dishes there. But still, I thought I'd rather have that.
By August, I'm kind of done with summer, especially with regard to my wardrobe, and I am looking towards fall. And I want to add some gorgeous pieces, so I'm going to Quince. Quince specializes in effortless, high-quality essentials like ultra-soft cotton and premium Mongolian cashmere sweaters. They're beautifully tailored, built to last, and transition seamlessly from morning meetings to dinner out. Quince also has premium stretch denim starting at just $50. I just purchased the 100% organic cotton knit blazer. It is going to be my go-to piece this fall. Everything at Quince is priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. They work directly with ethical factories and cut out the middleman, so you're paying for quality, not brand markup. And it's not just apparel, which of course you know. Quince also brings that same everyday elevation to everything they offer, from hotel quality bedding and bath to kitchen staples, essentials, and thoughtfully designed furniture. And now they even have an app. Upgrade your everyday. You can download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers or go to quince.com/DTT and you'll get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada and the UK too. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT. Okay, so I've pretty much come clean on the things that really are top of mind for me. Do you have anything else?
Yes. I'm trying to think when to stop here because I could go on all day. The house has very small closets, so that's something that I would do differently too, is see if I could adjust the house. Although it would be hard to get much bigger closets in here without, it's got to come from somewhere, which means that the bedrooms would be smaller. So
right.
I do wish there were bigger closets, but on the upside, I do have a little secret here. Ooh. It's not really a secret, but we have a really big barn. So I do have that storage now. So if it does not need to be air conditioned, it can go out there, and I have practically unlimited storage there. So I do have that now.
Oh, well, that's nice. And, even if it was for clothing, could you put like a cedar closet out there or something like that if you needed?
Well, as long as, I suppose we could, but I mean, it's going to get hot in the summer.
Yeah.
It's insulated, but there's no air conditioning out there, obviously.
Yeah. Closets are very important. And obviously, I purchased a Victorian home. I don't know what those people did with those dresses.
They didn't have clothes. They had like 3 dresses, and that was it.
Yeah. But even 3 of those, squashing them into one of those tiny little closets must have been hard. Or they used a lot of armoires and things like that. Yeah. So closet is very important. It's very important for resale too. And we do have more things these days. We were able to carve out area of the master bedroom, which was sort of this weird wasted space, like an entryway almost, where there was a big armoire sitting in there, but I closed it off, moved the door over, and grabbed that for a walk-in closet. Now, it's certainly not a closet like you had in Houston where, you put a chair in there and you could podcast from it. I would be like sitting in one of my drawers if I was podcasting in there, but it was markedly larger. It is markedly larger than any of the other closets we have in the house. So I'm pretty happy with that. And it does also keep my closet pretty well purged, because what isn't really in the rotation has got to move out because it don't have the space.
It keeps you honest. And yeah. And I have one more that I did want to mention. And I'm still working on the solution here, but the way the house is laid out, when people come, we're now in rural Texas. We came from the heart of Houston out to the Round Top area. And so when you pull up, you end up parking on the side of the house. So there's a front door and a back door, but you're parking right next to the side door. Well, the side door brings you through the mudroom, which is kind of basically a porch, closed-in porch. which is where we keep things that are going to the barn and the stuff that's going to the trash can that we didn't take out. So it's messy. And then you go in the laundry room, which also, I mean, it's got the washer dryer, it's got an extra refrigerator, it's got a shelf for, extra pantry items that don't fit in the small pantry. And it's got the tankless water heater in there, which is, it's just got all these pipes going in it. So it's not a pleasant space. So if I could clean up the mud room, I think I could just straighten that up and just not keep all the junk in there, just kind of take that out to the barn. But the problem is people coming through there into the house. I'm going to have to figure out how to make that a lot nicer, or figure out a way to direct people around a different entrance to the house, because I kind of have a laundry cart kind of in front of the tankless water heater to kind of disguise a bunch of those pipes, but it's still not a nice looking way to bring people into the house. And it would be nice if I could come up with a solution there. So that might be a project coming up.
Yes, I think that you can really make that work better for you based on what you're telling me. And so there is a front door, but no one will come in the front door?
Well, the problem with the front door is I'm going to have to get it weather sealed. So to get it closed where the air isn't, it still kind of pours in or out depending on what's cold and hot. But so we don't have a great seal around. The only way we can get a halfway decent seal is that there is a lock that you push up into, a bolt that goes up into the ceiling from the door, up into the frame. And that's the only
Cremone.
Right. So we have to have that in there, or it really won't even close properly. And so I'm not tall enough. The door is 8 feet tall. So I can't get that undone without bringing a chair around. So usually when people show up, I'm just like, just go around to the mudroom, and I'm like, oh, look, hey, hi. and I try to divert their attention from the ugliness of the laundry rooms that come in.
Oh, yeah. But so maybe you can sort out the front door, and then you can just sort of direct people that way.
Yeah.
We use our front door all the time if you pull all the way down our driveway, you're not really accessible to a convenient back door. Our garage is not attached to our house. So we are always using the front door. And I like that about the way the house is set up. We did have a house years ago in New York where it was the garage being attached, and you would just walk into your house from the garage all the time. And I thought, wow, you're not really seeing the beauty of the house. I spent a lot of time that was the one we built from scratch. So, I wasn't really seeing the front of the house that I worked really hard on or planted things in front of. So,
right.
Yeah. So I didn't enjoy that much. And I see what you're saying about it. Kind of, it's a catch-all spot. So if other people have that issue, you could just try to make that entry a little bit more beautiful. And if you have an opportunity to store some of those other things someplace else, that might be a good way to approach it. So you feel good.
Let me clarify.
Into your house.
Things aren't stored there. It's just a holding spot, but there's always something hold. Yeah. The mud room's easy. I could just clean that out, but people do accumulate things that other people hear. But I do too. Aww. But it's the laundry room that's the real problem. That laundry room that you walk through. That's I can't figure out a really good way to hide that.
Okay, well, you're going to have to come back and let us know how that works out. What are we defining today?
We are defining a mood board. And I know you know what a mood board is, but not everybody does. So what the heck is this?
Who are these people? I don't know.
They're out there. They must be, because I'm defining it today. Anyway, it's a collection of inspirational images, materials, and colors used to communicate a particular aesthetic or ideas you have for a room. So it can be a literal board where you're attaching fabrics and wallpaper, pinning it to it, printing out pictures, and putting it all on there. Or it could be a digital board. And, you can have boards on Pinterest, but what I really mean, a mood board really is. The problem with the boards on Pinterest, I guess I should say, is that you have to go look at this board and that board and that board. The whole point of a mood board is you can look one place on one board, one screen, and you can see everything all at one time. So if you are doing a digital mood board, I do recommend that you create something in Canva or some other software. I use Photoshop to put all my pictures on there. And that's where you kind of create the idea of what you want for the room. If you're not doing this, I recommend it. Because even if you're working with a professional, an interior designer or decorator, you want to communicate as clearly as possible where you want to go with this room. And that's really how you would do it. And if you are doing it personally, then I think that helps you know the direction you're going. So any kind of inspirational pictures you like on the internet, you're going to put them on there. If you see a bed maybe that you want, or a lamp, or some wallpaper, you're going to put them all on that digital board. And then when you're shopping, maybe print it out and then take it with you when you're shopping, and you can kind of look at it, or just kind of even shopping online. Does it go with that look? And if it doesn't, then you know that that's not right for that project.
Yes, I love a great mood board. And I was teasing. I mean, everybody maybe has heard that term, but they don't know exactly what it is. Oh, make a mood board. Well, they might just think Pinterest, and that is just not the only way to go. In fact, probably not the best way to go, as you mentioned. What I like to do with clients is actually have a touchy-feely mood board of sorts. Right. I've got these kind of little low baskets. Maybe it would be something like you'd put on a desk for mail or paperwork. I use them for clients where I'll actually put swatches, I'll put pieces of stone, I'll put tear sheets, I'll put fabrics that we might be thinking about, but just kind of get the palette going. And I'll bring that when we're first starting out to talk about color and fabric, and it could include paint swatches and all things like that, so they can see all the things kind of working together. We may not go with that exact fabric or that exact paint, but it's giving them like a doorway to open into where we're going to be going with the project, or where I think we should be going with the project. So I love creating those. They're so fun, and people really enjoy that. So you could make something like that for yourself too, where it's actually stuff you could touch and feel and move around.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it can be loose like that as long as you can kind of lay it and see it all at the same time. I think the beauty of it is being able to see it all at one time. And people talk about, I like too many diverse styles. I don't know how to pull them together. Well, I think the mood board helps you, because once you're putting it all together, if you like something that doesn't go with it, I think that's when it's going to stick out like a sore thumb. And you want it to stick out in the mood board phase and not in the buying phase. So I think this is when you really get a feel for it. That's kind of clashing with this other item, or the colors aren't really going.
Yeah.
And I think that's very helpful.
Good one. Okay. What's your crush?
Well, it's what I got for Mother's Day. Oh. It is a beautiful book. Charlotte Moss entertains.
Oh,
and she's known for her gorgeous tablescapes. So this book is full of beautiful, beautiful tables. And it is stunning how many beautiful napkins she has, tablecloths, dishes. Oh, I love the dishes. The variety of silverware and the plate chargers, the florals on the table. So much beautiful inspiration if you're doing any kind of dinner party. I think this will give you some great ideas. In fact, it did force me to make a few purchases. I realized now that I was missing,
Charlotte forced you? Oh my goodness.
Well, I did have plate chargers, but I had the oversized white ironstone chargers, like 13-inch plates, which are really beautiful. I mean, they work very well, but I did not have any rattan plate chargers. So
stop it. Oh,
well,
can you? I know we've been doing this decorating show, and you didn't have rattan chargers.
I'm kind of embarrassed now. I did not have these.
Wow, you are really divulging secrets today.
I am telling you, I didn't realize how badly I need them until I looked on there and went, "These are stunning. Where have they been all of my life?" So I got some.
Good for you.
So I'm all set with that. Yeah.
Oh, great. So is this a double crush? Did you buy them from her or someplace else?
Oh, well, I actually ended up getting them. Where did I get them? From Belk.
Oh, from that department store?
Now, I will tell you who else has some beautiful ones are Williams-Sonoma, and Oka has beautiful ones too.
I have ones from Pottery Barn. I don't know if they still make those, but I've had them for a long time, and they're great. And I love the rattan with any plate. It kind of also, if you're doing a very formal table, it kind of like knocks the formality off a little bit.
Right.
They're super pretty. Okay, I was going to do a book today too, but for the sake of having some diversity in our crushes, I will save my book for next time. So I'm going to share.
Oh, you're going to change on the fly here?
Whoop, whoop. That's me. Just, yeah. On the move, bobbing and weaving.
You just got them all on the tip of your tongue,
well,
apparently.
I have a lot of crushes. I have my list of crushes that I run through. Every time I encounter something I really like, I put it on my crush list. So it's not really that hard for me to do what I'm doing, but here we go. It is a house tour from House and Garden. This is so gorgeous. It is a flint-fronted house, and it is in the UK. But what I really love about this house, well, I absolutely adore the kitchen. And I just love that they worked with all these weird angles. I'm scrolling through to tell you the things that I love about it. I love the outdoor space, and I love the dark floor. I think they painted it or stained it a very dark color. But the kitchen, I actually think I shared this kitchen with proper credit on my Instagram at one point. It's lovely. There are cabinets that are higher, but they don't have the traditional upper sort of thing going on either side of the sink, and it seems to really work in this particular space. So it's a lot of good things to have a look at. The sitting room or living room is super cozy, but not overdone, and lots of really lovely neutrals. I think you're going to really enjoy this tour, so I will link it in the show notes.
Oh, I'm excited to see it, and I love all their home tours. They're all so beautiful. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us. And remember, we are here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Want to talk to us? Well, we really want to talk to you. So let's schedule a design consult. Anita and I are here to give you individualized, actionable advice on how to create the beautiful home you want and deserve. It's so easy to schedule a design consult with us. Simply click the link in the show notes or head to decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. When we talk to you on the scheduled time, we will be ready with so many great tips, advice, and yes, tricks. So sign up today for a design consult. We can't wait to talk to you.